G'day guys, it's Fraser here from the Greg Chappell Cricket Centre. Today we're going to have a chat about these new helmet safety standards. So what's happened is the ICC and CA have got together and put in place what's basically a mandatory rule or safety standard on the protection level for the helmets these days. So this is in place for the associations, clubs, schools, players. It's becoming mandatory basically everywhere in Australia. Now that's following some pretty bad injuries and horrific events that have happened to the head over the last couple of seasons. So the ICC and the British sports protection experts have got together, said to the manufacturers that, hey, these standards have got to be higher and these helmets have got to be safer, and they've put together BS 79282013, which is a lot of numbers and a lot of letters, but it's the new safety standard for helmets that they've got to comply with. So gone are the days where you can play cricket without a helmet. If that's your style, unfortunately your cricketing days are over, because you've got to wear a helmet, and not only a helmet, it's got to be a safety approved one up to that new British standard. Now, what is the British standard? These things now go through some pretty serious testing before they hit the shelves to make sure that they're going to protect us against any cricket ball that comes our way. So the grill is now a lot safer. It's actually fixed. They do projectile testing to make sure that both a junior and senior ball can't fit through there. Also to make sure upon impact that grill isn't going to hit you in the face. So a lot of testing also to the side and the back of the helmet to make sure that these things are super safe and super strong. Now what I've got here is the top of the range Missouri, which certainly meets those new British safety standards, but you'll see it doesn't have the stem guard. Now those aren't yet mandatory. Now they are these things here, which you can certainly put on. You'll see a lot of players wearing them for extra protection, and they're great, but they're not mandatory just yet. So if you want the extra protection, we've got them. We've got plenty of them. You can stick it on. It's only going to protect you more, but they're not mandatory as yet. As long as you get the helmet sorted, then you're all sweet. Now, who has to wear one of these safety approved ones? Used to be just the elites, but now it's basically everyone. The only exception is indoor cricketers and those that are playing like blast or Milo cricket, really young level cricketers with a rubber plastic style ball. That's the only exception. So even your basic local park cricketers, you've still got to have a helmet, and it's got to be safety approved. So the associations are basically all enforcing that. Some of them enforced it last year, some will be enforcing it this year, and some next year, but it's going to be mandatory very, very soon to have one of these. When do you have to wear it? Pretty much always. Obviously when you're batting, when you're fielding in close, when you're keeping up to the stumps, also when you're at training, you've got to have one of these safety approved helmets on. How do you know if it is approved? Well, there's some BSI, CE and BS conformance stamps on some of your helmets. If it was purchased in the last couple of seasons, you might be okay, but you'll have to check. If you've got an older lid, it's not going to be compliant, so you're going to have to get in and get one. Now, you probably don't want to do all this research trying to suss out what's compliant, what isn't. It's all too hard. If you come into the Greg Chappell Cricket Centre, every single one of our helmets meets that new British safety standard, so you don't have to worry about a thing. We can fit you out, make sure it fits you properly, make sure you've got good vision. We can fit the stem guards and the neck guards to the back. Plenty of different colours to choose from, and we can also get a custom logo if you want for your club on a couple of the selected helmets. So come in store to your local cricket centre or jump online cricketcentre.com.au, but hopefully that clarifies a couple of questions you may have had surrounding these new helmet safety regulations.